all of you too, and myself, for getting out of our business as usual boxes to come out and take some time to share some ideas with each other and share some inspiration and strategies about how to bring the arts into a more rich conversation with community and connection and collaboration. So I'm really inspired to be here. So thank you. What I'd like to bring to this gathering today is the gift of a word. And this word at first may not feel like very much of a gift, because if this word was a book, it would be up on top of a library shelf, big and heavy and dusty, and if it fell off, it would hit your head and hurt. This word is economy. So I'm going to do a little magic on this word. We're going to do some magic together with this word, okay? We're going to take this word and we're going to cut it in half. Economy. Eco is from the Greek word ekos, which means home. So economy, truly, deeply, in its root means how we name home. Okay? How does this work? Well, if economy is a system of exchanges, what this means is every time I offer something, I'm saying to you, this comes from my home. This is part of me. And every time I receive something, I take something in, I'm saying, I take this into my home. That breath I just took, this air is my home. Right? Bam! That word woke up for me when I found that out. So let's take that same root, eco, and put it next to logi. We get ecology, right? The study of home. And the interesting thing about that is we have economy on one hand and we have ecology on the other, and they feel really separate, right? Like economy is what happens in the office and in the grocery store and in the car and in the airplane and on the trucks and the railways inside. And ecology is everything that happens outside. But they come from the same root, the word home. So moving on to another type of eco. Let's think about some ecosystems. I just took an awesome walk, and I'm sorry I was late for your presentation because your work is really awesome. It's awesome what they're doing. I was outside. I was walking by the river. Have y'all gone down by that river? Mm-hmm. They've done some marvelous things here. You can really get up close to that river. The prairie is being restored. People are playing. Marriage photos are happening. It's lively, right? And there's identity here, right, around that river, right? And there's identity around this Fox River Valley. So we can think of this as a larger kind of home, and I put it in green because it's nature. And there's another type of eco, and maybe an economic system, right? We can think about this town is St. Charles, and yet you have Batavia, and then you have Geneva, but we also have a larger home, right? The Tri-Cities. So there's a beautiful, larger building sort of around that, or container around this idea of home, and then it can get bigger. Kane County, DuPage County, we can think about Chicagoland as a shared home. I'm asking us to think about this. I'm asking us to think about eco in a different way, because I'm going to invite us now to watch a video by a forestry scientist who is going to take us into a forest ecosystem. And I want us to go there with her. And how we're going to do that is I invite each of us to imagine that we're trees, and that your organizations are mother trees. Okay? And she's going to describe this forest ecosystem, and it's going to be a different type of natural economy. So let's go into this video with her. Please do. So that was just a small snippet of a way to think about a different kind of economy. When I thought of economy originally, I was used to thinking about the market economy. I thought that was the only type there was. And that philosophically is based on this Darwinian model, right, of survival of the fittest, scarcity, value is in scarcity, right? And that's like the only natural model that I thought there was out there until I found out about this model. And I said, wow, this is a model of gift economy. Gifts are being given and received here. And in this model, needs actually elicit the gifts. The other tree needed the carbon, and through this mycelial network under the ground, this other tree can send the carbon to the tree that needs it. So needs elicit gifts. Needs activate communities. In this economy, abundance is the value, not scarcity. Everybody, all of these plants have something, some kind of thing to offer. The mycelium have proteins to offer. The trees have sugars to offer. They all have different things to offer. This model is based on cooperation, not competition. Did you hear that? She was talking about diversity. These trees support trees that are not like them. There's trees of other species. Why? Because in that ecosystem, when a crisis hits, somebody is going to have the unique capacity to be left standing and continue the work of that biosystem. So in that way, the sense of who the community is bigger than the individual. It's looking at the whole system, and then when you have the diversity, you get strength, you get resilience. And in this community, every member is active. Every single member of this community is active. They're not just consumers. They're not just producers. They're equally taking in and giving out as their needs and skills allow. So this type of economy already exists. It's an informal economy. You see it in your family, right? In the family, you have your needs. You ask for what you need and you offer what you have. It's the original tribal economy. The tribes do not barter within the tribe. They share. They share what they have. Barter is for outside the tribe. That's for people you don't know. So it's informally, this type of economy is the oldest type of economy. But I'm here actually to talk to you about a formal type of economy that it's a network of relationships. Because fundamentally, all of these economies are economies of relationship. And this is a formal network, the time bank. The time banks, as we know them now, were invented by Edgar Kahn in around 1980 something. And his basic premise was we have everything we need if we use everything we have. He saw that there were many people with many skills who were not being tapped for those skills, and there were many people with many needs who could use those skills, and what was the way to bring them together. So he came up with this very simple idea of the time bank. And in a time bank, it can be on a piece of paper that's in a folder in an office, or it can be on a website with high-level functionality and search features and privacy features. But the fundamental principle is the same. People sign up. They say, I have this to offer. This is what I'm good at. I'd love to share this. And they say, I'd really like this. I could use this. And so the needs and the skills are put together, and people connect with each other. And they pay each other through the currency of time. An hour of my time is worth an hour of your time, is worth an hour of your time, and your time, and your time. Each of us have one lifetime, and an hour of that lifetime is equally valuable. So I painted Julia Antonix. You may not dance. I painted her hallway with her for 2 hours. I gave her 2 time credits. She took those 2 time credits and got Manasa to give her a Thai massage for 2 hours. Manasa took those 2 time credits and went and had Rebecca work on her website for 2 hours. You're not trading one-to-one, you're trading with a whole pool of people who have a whole mess of skills. So the richer the pool, the more rich the community. And because of this, it's not taxable by the government. So organizations are also a part of the time bank. We have organizational members, and organizations can ask for, they have needs, right? We have needs. Organizations have needs and offer skills as well within the time bank. So just addressing a little bit about organizations, Edgar Kahn was talking about, this can be a kind of a funny fit at first for organizations. Nonprofits are paid to deliver services. You're not supposed to ask the people you're helping, you know, and writing a grant to the government might seem a little weird at first, right? Because it's a little different. This isn't, you haven't been talking about this before. And this is true. Professionals are taught to say, how can I help you with the skills and expertise that I have? No one's going to be taught to say, can you help me? No one's going to go out there and think, we've got this, I love this. The idea that we've got a vast workforce called fifth graders or a vast workforce called people with disabilities is foreign. We're so busy fixing their problems, we don't see how incredible they are. So time banks are a way of asking the very folks that we're supposedly trying to help, like, well, how awesome are you? Like, what can you do? Like, how would you like to come in and show your awesome skill to us and help us out? So it is a new language of relationship. It's a really different way to think about asking and receiving. Okay, so why the arts? The arts rock! Anyway, but you know what? Artists from time immemorial have been utilizing multiple economies, right? Artists and nonprofits will use any means necessary to get stuff done, am I right? You will beg, you will borrow, you will scavenge, you will trade, you get stuff done. You're working on a number of different networks of relationships to make things happen. It's already happening. So it's kind of like a no-brainer. Artists and arts organizations and nonprofits are going to get this, that there's a different way of communicating and connecting. So in Chicago right now, Jamie and I are working on really the best practices. How can we collaborate to refine and define actually what makes a resilient creative economy? So we're partnering with arts organizations and with artists and people of all abilities and interests to think about what makes a creative economy. On one hand, just looking at connecting with the community. Everybody's a creative problem solver. Everybody is a cultural producer on some level, right? So get these people into the arts. Ask them to help you build a stage set. They're gonna get a little more interested. They're gonna come see your show, right? So it's a way of getting people, asking for their help, getting them invested, and then they're rewarded through that connection. And as you're so talking, Jan was talking about infiltration earlier. I'm infiltrating here because I'm thinking the more people are involved in art making, the more they're gonna see themselves as art makers. So that's my little agenda right underneath there. Right now, collaboration with community, like as organizations, if you're working with a time bank or something like a time bank, it's going to look really good because you're connecting with the community, you're leveraging their resources, you're activating the resources of the community in a really fresh way. And organization to organization, this is exciting what's starting to happen in Chicago. People are sharing their resources. For example, Lynx Hall is an experimental performance venue with two beautiful dance studios. One is a white box, one is a black box. And Enervation Dance Company is working with them, and every Sunday night, one of their members house manages for time hours. And then they use those time hours to get rehearsal time. And then they're going to get a discount when they go to rent the studio for their performance. So they spent less money on their actual practice space production and can spend more money on whatever else they need it for. So, are you edging to wrap me up? Because this is my last slide. Does that work good? Does that work? Okay. So fundamentally, we're back to another word. Do you like how I'm watering the dry, dusty? Imagine I'm watering that dusty book and it's actually growing roots. It's part of the tree, you can't really see it now. But the word community, everybody says community, but you know, if you break it down, it means who you gift with. Com is with and munus is gift. Your community is who you gift with. It's who you receive from and it's who you give to. That's our community, and that can go as far as the eye can see, right? Remember in the forest? When she was like, that tree is connected, but it's through all these other trees. So we can define home as big as we want to through a big community. And I just wanted to connect into the word communication, same as the word community. It's the act of offering and receiving a gift, and that's what art is all about. So Jamie and I would love to invite you to join us to stand in the sunshine. to get in touch with your needs and gifts as an organization and imagine yourselves as trees in a forest. We'll recreate a mycelial network, and we'll talk about informal and formal networks of relationship to connect you and your organization with the community. Thanks so much.